What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we're gonna take a look at the Engl Savage 120. Let's do it. All right guys, hope you're doing great out there today. I'm very excited because a lot of you guys have been asking me to get an Engl amp on my channel. So, just so happens my buddy old pal Jason Howell, the guy who loaned me the Omega Granifier, picked up a Savage 120 recently. So, I said, hey, I need that for a few days, and he said, no, and I said, I don't give a shit, I'm taking it. Just kidding, he probably would have gnawed at my ankles if I tried to steal it from him. So he graciously let me borrow this amp, and this is the first time I've ever played it. This is the first time I plugged into it, as a matter of fact, and I feel like I was able to get a pretty good tone right out of the gate. Traditionally, with Engls, I've kind of had to fight with them. So this one sounds good. I like this so far. That little intro sample that you guys just heard, I had my Deadweald Duality DX on with the green channel engaged and the gate, nothing else. Sounded amazing. I'm on my Mesa traditional 412 with the V30 SM57 where the cone meets the cap. I've got my Gibson Explorer with the Greg Campbell Angry Tones Alchemist humbucker pickup. Greg really wanted me to say this is his signature pickup from Voodoo Pickups, so that's what I'm using. There you go, Greg. So this amp actually reminds me a lot of the Engl Retro Tube that I had for a little bit, but the Retro Tube had kind of a saggy low end, and even though I liked the voicing on that one because it was a little bit more Marshall-y, it was like Marshall mixed with Peavey a little bit, it was kind of cool. The low end was just too saggy for me, and it didn't have a lot of punch and immediacy. This reminds me a lot of that, although it is a little bit more on the Marshall side, but the low end is much tighter. I am on the lead channel right now, but we're going to go over to the crunch channel, and I have 8,000 buttons to try and navigate here, so please bear with me while I do that, because I don't know how to dial this amp in at all. That first tone took me a couple minutes, and that was it. Okay, we're on the crunch channel. There's a pre-shape button here. I don't know what that does. Everything's at noon on the EQ and the gain. The presence is now at noon. Get a little bit more volume there. It's pretty Marshall-y, a little harsh up top. Let's dial the treble back, middle up a little bit and get a little bit more gain on it. That's actually not a bad little Marshall tone. That's pretty cool. Definitely got a lot more bass to it than a Marshall. We're not here for mid-gain tones, are we? Not too bad, a little bright. There we go. more gain. That is pretty good. Not bad at all. That's pretty fun. Boost. We need a boost. Mr. Brian, my guitarist in Subdue, the band that I play drums for, allowed me to borrow his Eris Brutal Drive. So let's play with that. All right, so that's pretty fun. Let's see what a standard tube screamer does. All right, so we're pretty bright. There's a contour switch here. Let's see what it does. Scooped some of the upper mids out, which is not going to be my favorite, but if you're playing by yourself, it actually kind of makes it a little less harsh. I don't know what the pre-shape does, but we're kicking that in. Again, it seems to filter out some of the high mid frequencies, which you know I won't be a huge fan of. So, that's the crunch channel. Let's go over to the lead channel. Very similar, but more compression and obviously more gain. We've got the gain over here at about 11 o'clock. We'll turn the boost off, get everything at noon. There's a whole bunch of switches on this channel too. There's a high balance, I don't know what that is, a rough smooth. Everything's switched off. Everything's at noon other than the presence and the gain. Gain's at 10 o'clock, presence is at 11 o'clock. No boosts, no nothing. So kind of a crunchy type gain. It's definitely not super saturated. Let's bump that up to noon. It's got a big booty on it. That sounds pretty good. Let me get a little bit more mid, a little bit less low. Fat but tight. It's it sounds good. Let's turn the contour or lead boost. There's a lead boost. Let's turn that on. Seems like a lead volume boost almost. It doesn't really take any of the lows out, but it boosts the saturation. Sounds pretty good. Contour's in now. Okay, again, takes out some of the high mids. It sounds pretty good though. Not my choice. There's a rough smooth in button. I don't know, we're pressing it. That reminds me, I don't know, that's just kind of like a raunchy Marshall type sound. I like this amp. I like it. We're gonna click that out. Now we got some real bright highs going again, but less upper mids. Let's change the high balance. So the more you turn the high balance up, the more it seems to shift the high frequencies into the upper mids as opposed to the actual highs. Kind of rounds the tone out a little bit, but it's very, very subtle. So let's dial it back. We got good mids here, a little bit of bass, dial the treble back. The low end on this amp is huge, real big. There is a depth boost. Let's turn that off. Makes a pretty big difference in like the lower, sub-lower frequencies. So let's turn the bass up on the EQ. All right, let's kick in the KHDK, see what we get with that. That boost sounds good, but I like the depth in with the bass lower on the EQ. Makes the amp feel a little full. This amp is fun. The highs are very touchy. I can't quite get them exactly where I want them, so let's do a little bit more present. I don't know, I'm literally just playing random crap. Guys, let's scoop the mids and dial up the bass. That sounds pretty good too. I like that. A little bit more mids. All right. All right, guys, I think I'm about done with this one, but man, this amp sounds fantastic. I'm gonna do some more videos where I shoot it out against some 5150 dual rectifier, more common amps, stuff like that, while I have it. So stay tuned for those. One more riff, we'll call it a day. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me on the Engl Savage 120 today. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Please do me a favor and like this video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to my channel because I post a video pretty much every day of me playing through some sick high gain amp poorly, trying to explain how it sounds to you guys who have never played it before. If you're into something like that, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. Check out the links below in the description. There's lots of cool stuff in there for Voodoo custom pickups, my friends' pages, my bands, my Amazon affiliate links that help me earn a little bit of money off this stuff, all sorts of stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time again.